18 Stoic Principles of Epictetus. This video has a simple purpose. The message. If you're here seeking knowledge, listen closely. Otherwise, this content might not be for you. When you share your pain with others, you increase the chance that some people might want to see you suffer. This doesn't always happen, but it's common for some to feel fulfilled when they see you struggling, or even make things worse. Sadly, sadism and envy are part of human nature, and they can affect your personal growth, whether at work, among friends, or even in your family. That's why learning not to expose your vulnerabilities can become an advantage. Picture yourself as a tree in a storm. The leaves may sway, but the trunk stands firm, deeply rooted. This represents the silent resilience we want to discuss here. We'll talk about how you can become stronger by not letting external or internal factors shake you. Each challenge will be a lesson, and you will stand like the tree, solid, as if nothing has disturbed you. It's not about denying the storm, but choosing not to be impacted by it. You will learn to be the master of your destiny, calm and resolute, even in chaos. Throughout the video, we will discuss the 18 Stoic principles of Epictetus, a renowned philosopher, and we'll also invite you to explore self-awareness. True strength doesn't come from thunder, but from the silence that lights the way. So, in the next moments, focus on the message we're about to share. Forget the distractions of everyday life, as the focus here is the essence of what we'll discuss. Now, the first principle: listen more than you speak. Have you ever wondered why we have 2 ears and only 1 mouth? Epictetus teaches us that this is no accident, but a reminder that we should listen more and speak less. This way, we learn from others instead of getting stuck in our own voice. Start paying more attention to what people around you are saying, and less to your own words. The second principle: always expect the worst. One of the biggest sources of anxiety is the fear that bad things will happen in the future. We fear losing our job, facing relationship problems, or being caught off guard by a crisis. But Epictetus suggests we imagine that these problems have already happened. This mentally prepares us for whatever may come, making us more resilient. Finally, the third principle: be prepared to fail. We often avoid appearing foolish at all costs. However, for Epictetus, being seen as a fool can be the key to true growth. Overcoming challenges doesn't come from immediate reactions, but from the path we walk, learning from our mistakes and moving forward with wisdom. The process of trial and error is essential for improvement. It's through mistakes that we come closer to excellence. This leads us to principle number 4. Be aware of the dangers of fortune. The wealth we desire often carries a burden that few can escape. It's not just about people who approach us out of self-interest, pretending to be friends. Money has a powerful effect on us, often changing us for the worse. When we become possessors of this much-desired resource, we find that we have something we didn't realize had the potential to poison our spirit and erode our moral values. Principle number 5 reminds us not to place all our hopes in a single dream. We are naturally inclined toward diversity, and that's why Epictetus advises us to diversify our goals. Focusing all our energy on one project can be devastating if we fail. By pursuing multiple dreams, we exponentially increase our chances of success. Principle number 6. Although this thought may seem grim, it should not be viewed with pessimism, but rather as an awareness that helps us value our time. Perhaps by remembering the inevitability of death, we will start to question the worth of spending decades saving up to acquire something we cannot take with us. Keeping a small notebook with these Stoic principles can be an effective way to remember that life is limited, and we must use our time more wisely. Principle number 7. According to Epictetus, a wise person does not grieve over the things they do not have, but takes joy in what they do possess. This is more than just a thought. It's advice to stop worrying about what isn't yet part of our lives. When we lament what is missing, we lose precious moments of happiness that could be filled with gratitude for all we have already achieved. Therefore, true wealth lies in the ability to find joy in what we already have. Principle number 8 invites us to embrace humility in our lives. To truly learn something, we must recognize that often we don't know as much as we think we do. Epictetus advises us to approach learning with the curiosity of a child who marvels at the unknown and has a genuine desire to learn. The pride of assuming we know everything only distances us from true knowledge. Principle number 9. Narrow-minded people blame others. Ordinary people blame themselves, but the wise understand that guilt is pointless. This teaching from Epictetus has been adopted by many modern therapists who see guilt as a feeling to be eradicated. The only way to win this battle is to refuse to play. When we blame others or ourselves, we avoid taking responsibility for our actions and get trapped in a cycle that prevents us from growing. Taking responsibility for our mistakes is essential. However, it's tempting to find someone else to blame, instead of accepting our share of the responsibility. Only those with a strong determination to evolve can avoid this trap, overcoming guilt while still owning up to their actions. Principle number 10. Partner with winners. Interestingly, when someone sneezes next to us, we immediately move away, afraid of being infected. Yet we don't act with the same caution to avoid one of the most harmful infections we face daily: the negative influence of others. Epictetus warns us to surround ourselves with people who inspire us to give our best, because the behavior of those around us directly impacts our emotional state. Some people drain our energy and ruin our day, while others fill us with vitality and joy. One of the wisest decisions we can make is to associate with those who lift us up, while distancing ourselves from those who make life seem harder than it really is. Principle number 11. We cannot control what happens to us, but we can control how we react. Epictetus teaches that it is our response to events that determines whether we succeed or fail. Everyone faces challenges, but what sets people apart is how they handle them. For example, while a divorce might lead some down a path of pain and victimization, for Epictetus, it could be the beginning of a journey of self-discovery. Remember, your life is not defined by the events that happen to you, but by how you respond to them. Principle number 12. Always fulfill your obligations. Each of us has a role to play in society. The sun doesn't need applause to rise every morning, but it does its duty without fail. In the same way, we should perform our tasks without expecting recognition or praise. If we know what our duty is, it's our moral responsibility to fulfill it, regardless of whether we receive external approval or not. When we rely on praise to act, we not only fail others, but also ourselves. Principle number 13. Do not. You are greater and more important than those who criticize, despise, or discriminate against you. Wasting time hating these people is a misuse of your energy. They don't deserve space in your thoughts. Epictetus teaches us not to fear those who try to harm us because the noise they create is merely a futile attempt to cause damage. Ignore it and become immune to these negative influences. Principle number 14. When given the chance to surround ourselves with luxury, choosing a simple life may seem odd. However, the logic behind it is clear. Wealth requires constant effort to maintain. Living in luxury demands daily commitments, often creating pressure to uphold that image. In contrast, by choosing a simple life, we free ourselves from the burden of debts, deadlines, and obligations. Principle number 15. Anyone who can irritate you becomes your master, because we only get upset by what we allow to affect us. Epictetus reminds us that there are many internal keys that can be triggered. Some lead to happiness, while others open the door to irritation and suffering. Other keys take us directly to emotional ruin, and it's this last one we hand over to those who upset us. The solution is to build barriers that prevent us from being affected by others' attitudes, understanding that each person is responsible for both what they say and what they choose to hear. Principle number 16. True wealth lies in genuine friends, because if one day our material fortune disappears, they will be there to support us. Therefore, we should invest in cultivating true friendships, making it a valuable and lasting investment. Principle number 17. Always extract benefits from every situation. Epictetus teaches us that no matter what happens, it is up to us to decide whether or not to take advantage of it. It's not a matter of choice, but of duty. As long as there is intelligence, There will be the ability to see an opportunity in every adversity. For example, if you are fired from your job, instead of falling into despair and blaming the universe, you can see it as a chance to pursue that old dream. The key is to look for the positive in every situation, and this mindset will take you much further than simply lamenting. Principle number 18. You are the master of your opinions, but not of your reputation. Although we may try our best, success, or the amount of wealth we accumulate isn't always within our control. Worrying about what we cannot change is a waste of time and energy. Epictetus encourages us to focus on the values we can develop, while letting fate take care of what's out of our hands. These Stoic principles are incredibly useful for facing the challenges of everyday life. They teach us to approach difficulties with interest and resilience, with no room for fantasies, only for the application of learning and moving forward. If you liked the video and made it this far, share your thoughts in the comments, or simply write, "Nothing affects me," if you don't know what to say. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Stay with God and in peace. Until next time, my friends.